Hi, I'm Peter Carney from cityfoodgrowers.com.au. Welcome to our gardening movie. Today I'll be talking about improving the fertility of the soil in your garden using a green manure crop. And at the moment we're in my garden in Brisbane, Australia, and it's summertime, quite warm and a cloudy day. And in this garden there are green manure crops at various stages. So I wrote a story on my blog a week ago explaining the green manure crop process, so you can see it live here. So let's just move down to a crop in this bed here. Now this green manure crop has been in for 6 weeks. And it's a mixture of cowpea, which is a legume, and millet, which is a grain. The cowpea is really good for adding nitrogen to the soil, which most plants love, especially ones that are heavy feeders, and all plants love organic substance in the soil. So this crop was planted, as I said, 6 weeks ago, and it's grown to about 3/4 of a metre high. So when the crop gets to the point before it seeds, it needs to be cut down, and it's really important to cut it down before it seeds, because otherwise you're going to be forevermore growing that crop in your garden. So you're growing it for the roots and the organic matter, but not for the seeds that grow on the top. So in this bed here, what I've done is cut down some of the substance here and laid it on the bed as mulch. So see, it's cut down and it's laid, and it's quite a thick layer, which is mulch. And it's left on this bed for a month, so after about a week this will all die away and it'll be a thick mulch, and within a month it'll be perfect for planting. So the fertility in this soil is being gained through a living process. We haven't put any fertilizer on here. There's no dry dead mulch that's gone on here. The fertilization is actually coming out of living material that breaks down. This won't be dug up, and because I really don't want to disturb all the life that is happening in the soil here. All the worms will be happy in there now, and all the microorganisms that start working on the roots to turn it into humus don't need to be disturbed. So it's left there. Okay, so this is finished state, cut down. So in this bed here we have more green manure, and this has been in for 3 weeks. So it's starting to come up nicely. Before I continue on with these, I think I should just emphasize the reasons why you would use a green manure crop, and I guess why it's called green manure. Green manure is really referring to the fact that the crop is used to fertilize the soil. It's used to manure the soil. It's not used to grow food itself, but it's used as a manuring, fertilizing process. And so that's one reason to grow a green manure crop, is to fertilize the soil. Another reason is, if you want to rest your soil and rest yourself, say here in the hot season, which we're in now, it's quite hot in the garden to work. So I like to rest the soil and myself by adding a green manure crop. And the really neat thing about it is that it acts like a mulch on the soil, like it covers the soil, so you don't need to import artificial material to cover the soil. And it also holds the soil together. And over the last 3 weeks here in Brisbane we've had 600 millimetres of rain, which is run across this garden, and the soil is held beautifully in the garden because I've had a crop. If I had no crop, the soil would have washed. So it's great for holding soil, it's good to rest the garden, it's good to fertilise it, and it's good to rest yourself. So let's move on. Now, so we have this crop which is 3 weeks old. And down this end of the garden we have a crop which is only 1 week old. So the seeds tend to come up within 2 or 3 days if they're planted at the right time of the year. Within our Gardener Subscriber website we have a whole lot of green manure crops, and you can easily find out which crops are suitable for which time of the year, because you can grow green manure crops any time of the year. It just depends on which ones you choose based on your season. So what we're going to do in this little patch here, which I've cleared of weeds and other plants which are not edible, is to put in some green manure seeds so you can actually see how it's done. So we start with a small bucket of water. We get a handful of lime, garden lime. Here's the cowpea seeds. So I'm going to put these in here. And here's the millet. Lots of millet seeds. I'm putting quite a few seeds in here because I'll be using this mixture for another part of my garden. We have another vegetable and fruit area, another part of the property here. Okay, and this is called inoculant. This is a bacteria which actually looks like soil that helps the roots in the cowpea plant deliver more nitrogen to the soil. Okay, so we put the mixture together. It's stirred into a slurry, quite easy. Just stirred like that. Alright, and stir it, and now I throw it onto the bed. It's not planted in rows. I think it's a bit too fiddly to do that. It's actually good to do this when all your bird friends in the garden are not hanging around, because they might look at it straight away and say, I like some of that. So what I do here is then rake it in. So we've got a rake here, and the rake is used to cover the seed. So it's important to cover the seed so the birds don't find it as easily, and also it gives the seeds a chance to set. Okay, so there we have the green manure crop planted. It's quite easy, really. Not much to it. So just to go through the process again, it's planted like we've just done there. It grows up in this stage like that, and like that. That's 3 weeks. That one is 6 weeks. So you leave it for approximately a month, and then the bed is ready to grow in. So that all takes about 8 to 10 weeks, and that's not much time in a garden year to